tonight on Blue Mondays. We bring you an interview this past week with Gilda Reed, running for the U.S. Congress for Louisiana's 1st District. Gilda is an amazing woman with an incredible story that you won't want to miss. But first, we have more primary and caucus results to report. All this and more tonight on Blue Mondays for January 28th, 2008. Good evening and welcome to an all-new Blue Mondays. Blue Mondays is on the 2nd and the 4th Mondays of each and every month here on AOC Channel 15 on Cox Cable. We are very glad that you are joining us. If you're joining us online, drop us a note. Fill out the little comment section right below me here. Fill out a comment section and let us know how we're doing. We greatly appreciate that. Tonight we have a jam-packed show, so here we go. More primary election results. First up, we're going to take you to Michigan for the Republicans. Let's take a look and see how the Republicans did up in Michigan. Former Governor Mitt Romney comes in first place with 39% of the vote. It is good to know, or at least interesting to know, that Romney was born and raised in Michigan. His father used to be the governor there up in Michigan. So this wasn't really a big surprise for them. But the question is, will the Republican Party actually seat the candidates from the delegates from Michigan? It seems that Michigan decided to have their primary early in the year, breaking the rules of both the RNC and the DNC, so this may not even count in the long run. John McCain came in second with 30%. Huckabee was at a very distant third place with 16%. Ron Paul came in with a very small 6%. Fred Thompson actually came in 5th place with 4%, and Rudy Giuliani way down at 3%. It is interesting to know that Fred Thompson, formerly of Law and Order, has now dropped out of the race. So the race on the Republican side has gotten a little bit leaner now with Thompson out of the race. Michigan Democrats went and voted as well. Again, though, it was interesting because most of the Democratic candidates actually pulled out of that state and decided not to compete there. Their reasoning was, if Michigan's going to break the rules, then we're not going to play. However, Hillary Clinton decided, well, I guess it's not that bad for rule breakers. I'm still going to compete there. So let's take a look at how the Democrats did. Michigan Democrats. Hillary Clinton, no surprise, because she was really the only choice that was left. Hillary Clinton came in with 55%. Both Senator Obama, former Senator Edwards, and Governor Richardson, by the way, Richardson had already pulled out by this point, but none of them were competing in this state. There you'll see the interesting point, uncommitted, 40%. Those individuals were likely voicing their support or their disdain with the party and the state for calling up their election so much earlier. Kucinich came in with 4%. Again, just a reminder, Dennis Kucinich was a rather popular mayor of Cleveland, Ohio, which is not very far from the Michigan-Ohio border. Senator Dodd came in at 1%, and Mike Gravel came in very, very distantly with a whole 0%. He didn't even show up on the board. South Carolina for the Republicans. The Republicans had their primary in South Carolina actually 2 Saturdays ago. So we have their results. Now, the South Carolina Democrats are actually competing just this past Saturday. We have to go to press or go to record our show a little early, so we don't have those results for you yet, but you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. We'll have that on our next show for you. But let's look at the Republicans for the state of South Carolina. John McCain, and basically a nice Valentine's Day present for John McCain. He was able to take, there in South Carolina, take first place with 33% of the vote. You may remember that there was some really dirty campaigning back in 2000 with George W. Bush and McCain. There were a lot of bad things said about him, so this looks like an apology to him. Mike Huckabee came in second place with 30% of the vote. Fred Thompson Thompson came in with 16% in third place, and Mitt Romney in a very distant fourth place, showing with only 15% of the vote. Ron Paul did make it onto the tote board, as did Rudy Giuliani, but with really small numbers. Nevada Republicans. Nevada is next up, and Nevada had their caucus system going on out in Nevada, and here are the results from there. Mitt Romney came in first place with 51% of the vote. Ron Paul came in a surprising second, but if you look at this with only 14% of the vote, I don't really know how impressive that is overall. John McCain actually came in behind Ron Paul, which definitely says something. Mike Huckabee came in with a distant fourth. I'm sure what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Didn't really play well with the Huckabee campaign. Reverend Huckabee. Reverend Governor Huckabee, probably. Anyhow, Fred Thompson came in there with 8% as well, and Giuliani again bringing up the rear. Gotta wonder what Giuliani's plan is here. Nevada Democrats, they also went and had a caucus system out there. There was a lot of heat out there going on. Let's take a look at their numbers. Hillary Clinton came in with 51% of the vote. She definitely won the majority out there. Obama came in second with 45% of the vote. John Edwards came in a very, very, very disappointing 4% of the vote out there in Nevada, which was actually quite surprising. All right, upcoming, Republicans have Florida, even though their delegates may not even be sat. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Florida for the Republicans. By the way, Rudy Giuliani's banking everything on Florida. He's banking everything that he can actually win, especially with what he thinks is a lot of the snowbirds who will have re-registered or at least will have been stumping for him, folks that live up in New York during their summer months. We'll have to see if that's going to actually play out for them or not. South Carolina Democrats, as I said, they went to the polls this past Saturday, and on our upcoming show we'll have those reports. I'll also be talking about that in my left blog tomorrow morning, so make sure that you log on over to theadvertiser.com, click on opinions, and there you can click on my mug shot and read my column, and I'll have everything to tell you about South Carolina going on. It'll be interesting to see in South Carolina right now. Right now, the poll numbers as we're recording this show, John Edwards is definitely spiking. The momentum's behind John Edwards, whereas Senator Clinton and Senator Obama are definitely having some problems, mostly because of their childish fights that went on during the debate on Martin Luther King Day. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. Anyhow, we'll be right back.
What more could I ask for, you know? Go to New Orleans with John Edwards and help people, you know, Habitat for Humanity. It's like a wonderful combination.
I was looking forward to being part of working on the Habitat for Humanity here at Musicians Village, especially because I'm a composer and musician.
There's a lot of homes, you just go block after block where there's a lot of homes that are in need of replacement or getting rid of a lot of the rot.
It's just such an interesting thing to see all these people working on rebuilding this area.
It seems like they are in the process of rebuilding, which is great. And this area here, it's really inspirational to see what they've done.
When completed, we'll have 72 single-family homes, 5 elder-friendly duplexes that will be reserved for the masters of music.
How are you?
I'm Terrence Davis from California.
It's good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Where in California?
Malibu.
You wrote the song.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
John Edwards is really down to earth. I mean, I guess I thought that coming down here, but it's even more than I imagined. I mean, he is really in there hammering and joking, and he's just a real person.
Very genuine, very warm, incredibly personable guy.
He was just very friendly and willing to listen to everyone that he met.
He doesn't mind rolling up his shirt sleeves and picking up a hammer and putting up siding and working right along with the rest of us on this project.
Everybody else is in New Hampshire and Iowa, and he's here, and I think that just speaks volumes to him. He was very easy to talk to, and just a lot of fun, you know, being around him and working with him. And I could see, you know, his leadership qualities are just really awesome.
Calvin's getting this house right over here.
That's great.
Putting in his sweat equity, and he's one of the most talented young musicians in the city.
Now, what do you play?
Tenor sax. Yeah, I try.
Cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Can't wait to move in.
I bet you can.
Yeah, pleasure to see all these people out here working.
Yeah.
You know, contributing their time, donating everything, man. It's a pleasure.
It's difficult to see the devastation that's happened to the city because of the storm.
These people are still living the nightmare that started years ago. And there's no excuse for the United States of America to not have fixed this before now.
I was just totally impressed with Habitat for Humanity. I had not been on one of their sites before. Great organization, tremendous service that they're performing.
When Katrina hit, it really broke my heart because I knew what a great city this was. And the fact that my government hasn't helped these people has broken my heart too.
I think anyone would really enjoy coming down here and working at this site. It's been inspirational and it makes you feel good to be doing something for others.
Tick, 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 tick. Massive heat waves. Heat waves. Tick. Severe droughts. Tick, 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 tick. Devastating hurricanes. Tick, 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 tick. Our future is up to you. Tick. Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
This past week, I had the great opportunity of sitting down with Gilda Reed. Gilda Reed is a candidate for United States Congress District 1 from here in Louisiana, running in a special election to replace Governor Bobby Jindal. He vacated his seat just here around the first of the year so that he could take on the governor's mansion here. We definitely wanted to sit down with Gilda and find out a little bit about her and introduce her to the Acadiana area. So she's such an incredibly amazing woman. We definitely wanted to bring you this interview. So without further ado, here's Gilda Reed.
I'm Gilda Reed. I'm a candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives in District 1. I am for mainstream people. I represent the pulse of the people, workers, veterans, senior citizens, small business owners, and children. I find people want stability. It doesn't matter whether they're young, old, male, female, black, white, Republican, Democrat, Independent. I get the same story in all 6 parishes. They want somebody that's going to stay, that's not going to play musical chairs, that's not going to use it as a political opportunity. Right. With Governor Jindal, he's happy now. I wish him well. He was not happy where he was in Washington. And I plan to do a whole better job than he did. It was not because he was going to have an open election or there was going to be an open election. That's not why I jumped in. Yeah. I jumped in because I was angry after Katrina. Yeah. And I jumped in because I wanted to make a positive difference. Whether or not I faced him as an incumbent or not, it didn't matter to me. I see people gasping for air all the way to Washington Parish. They didn't get the floodwaters, but they got a lot of the damage. Plus, they got a lot of the spillover. They have a lot of extra people to care for over there without the extra funds. Right. They have not been paid by FEMA. Their contractors are still waiting, and it's been almost 2.5 years. And you can't run city government like that. No. Franklinton's mayor, Bogalusa's mayor, they've both complained about the same thing. So it's not just the districts that got floodwaters, like Jefferson and Orleans. And Slidell. It's also, it has affected every single parish. People in all 6 parishes of District 1 are hurting. I could start off with bare bones. I'm the mother of 7. I'm the grandmother. Well, my 14th grandchild is on the way. I have thousands of college students that I teach. That's bare bones. Mm-hmm. But let me put some meat on the bones. Great. I caught polio in 1949, way back when. Ancient history, before the Salk vaccine. I wasn't even 2 yet. And nurses said I wasn't going to live through the night. I wasn't going to make it. And then doctors said I wasn't going to sit up or walk again. Then it was murmured that I wasn't going to have children. I gave birth to 5. It was murmured that, I wasn't going to have any things or chances to go back to school. They told me I was crazy. I had 7 children by this time. I don't take no for an answer, and because I was told I couldn't have any more, I went out and adopted 2 with special needs. So I had 3 in diapers at once, and they've turned out fine. 6 of the 7 are college grads, and several have their masters. But getting back to school, they told me I was crazy. They said, 7 kids at home, are you nuts? And then they hushed their mouths when I got my PhD. I was told that the first baby we adopted was going to be a total vegetable. He's a college grad. Experts can be wrong. When I'm told that children are not going to make it in college and they try to sour me on a student, I don't listen. I have some of the most, you would not expect, unexpected youngsters that are now college grads. I don't take no for an answer. I'm a fighter. I have backbone. I have a voice, and I'm not afraid to use it. And so when the naysayers began again with their, oh, it can't be done, you're a Democrat and you think you're going to win District 1, I don't listen to them. It can be done and it will be done because we need a voice, somebody that is going to fight for what we need, someone who's going to stick around.
Yeah.
My official title is adjunct instructor, full-time.
Okay.
I teach between 4 and 8 classes a semester.
Outstanding.
I do it because I love it. I could do research as well as anyone else. I did that to get my PhD. However, I prefer to teach.
And what line? What do you teach?
Applied biological psychology is my major. Wow. Applied developmental psychology is my minor. So I teach 6 different courses, online, campus, different ones.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Love it. Love it. So I am not bored. I am not in this race because I'm bored. I'm in this race because nobody else came forward. Yeah. I would love to be able to sit back and say, oh, go for it, I'll vote for you.
Right.
But no one came forward. And I feel passionately. I tell my students, if you don't like something, then stop whining, get off your duff, and do something. So I'm practicing what I teach. And there's not a political opportunist bone in my body. I am not seeking a fat resume. I don't have signs that say, Gilda Reed, fill in the blanks. Gilda Reed for Congress. This is the only seat I am seeking or will seek. Well, I see people. I don't see Dems and Republicans. I see people. And they're not all that different. And they are flocking to me. I'm getting very good vibes from so-called staunch Republicans and middle-of-the-road Dems. I'm getting very good reports back from them. They want someone, not only someone who's going to stay there, they want someone who's fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
And I am not going to live beyond my means and then charge the bill to my grandchildren. I think being in trillions of dollars in debt is unconscionable, and we have to turn it around. People hear that message, and so they're listening to me and disregarding that D behind my name.
Right.
Really, when you look at it, we have more registered Democrats than we do registered Republicans.
Yeah.
39% Dems, 37% Republicans. But then you look at the voting record,
right,
and you wonder about it.
Right.
It's because they haven't had someone they can hang their hat on. They haven't had someone they can be motivated behind. So the more people that I can reach, give me 5 minutes with them, and I can let them know, I'm for you. I'm for the working man. I'm for the senior citizen. I'm for the veterans. I'm for children. I'm for business owners. I'm for you. Isn't that really supporting the troops?
Yeah.
I can't believe that benefits are being cut.
Yeah.
It nauseates me. Perhaps because I have a son in uniform still. Perhaps because I have a nephew in one. Perhaps because we come from 3 generations of Navy warriors, or heroes, I like to say. Peacemakers.
Right.
My dad is a World War II vet. He served on the USS Salt Lake City, 3 harrowing years in battle. My husband is an air crewman, retired. Well, he got out after 4.5 years. He didn't go the whole route. But my sons, I have 2 Navy officer sons. One is in charge of all the Squadron C-2 planes on the West Coast. He's a Navy commander. He's a Navy pilot, the best our nation has. And they are heroes to me as well as everyone else. They're the reason I'm able to talk to you right now and say that I'm dissatisfied with the way things go. I want some changes made. And above all, you've got to protect those guys. They're home. Many of them are homeless. Many of them are not getting PTSD treatment. You've got to fight. You don't take no for an answer. If someone says no, your people are hurting, and someone tells you no, well then you keep beating on doors on Capitol Hill until someone gives you what you want just to shut you up. You don't take no for an answer. I'm tired of senior citizens having to decide, do I take my medicine today or do I eat because I can't afford to do both? I've talked to too many who that is a real crisis for them on a daily basis. That is criminal. We're the richest country in the world. We should take better care of our elders. March 8th will be the primary. I have no opponent right now. They have a week or so to choose, to jump in. January 31st is the end of qualifying. It runs from the 29th through the 31st. If I have no opponent, then I will face the Republican winner of their primary and runoff. Since there are 5 of them and they're spending hundreds of thousands apiece, the likelihood that one will take 51% of the vote is very unlikely. So there will be a runoff in April 5th. And then the general election, well, the special election will be May 3rd. And I'll just fight the one left standing. I've been all over the place. I have put well over 20,000 miles on my van, reaching out because I've been in this race for a year. They can find me. WeNeedReed.com is my website. We Need Reed with 2 E's, and you can reach me by email, by telephone, directly. I am openly accessible, and that's the way it's going to stay. That I want smart government, not big government. I want government to stay out of our bedrooms, out of our emails, out of our bank accounts, out of our telephone conversations, out of our right to responsibly own a gun. I want smart government, not big government. I want government run responsibly. I want government that enables its citizens to take care of themselves so that you don't need unneeded giveaways. I want government that is smart and that turns around the class warfare policies that give tax cuts to the upper 1% and give a raw deal to the rest of us, the 99%. Smart government, not big government. That's what I'm about. People just energize me. When they tell me I can't do something, that's like lighting a fire under me. I am not going to listen to anybody that says no, no matter what.
Gilda Reed, candidate for United States Congress for Louisiana's 1st Congressional District. We wish you all the luck and all of the support that we can possibly give you, Gilda. We know it's going to be a tough fight for you down there, but we think that you've already done such an amazing job. We wish you all the best. If any of you would like to reach out to Gilda and let her know that you saw her on our program, we urge you to visit her website at WeNeedReed.com. And that is our show, Blue Mondays. Next time will be on February 11th. Our next show will be on February 11th on AOC Channel 15. There we are going to bring you all of the results from Super Duper Tuesday. Now, mind you, Super Duper Tuesday, where 22 states, I believe, will be voting, that is actually Mardi Gras. Now, we were going to be voting then, but we didn't think anyone's going to turn out to vote on Mardi Gras. So we will be voting the Saturday after Mardi Gras. So mark your calendars and make sure that you go and vote on February 9th. But But February 11th will actually be the show that we will bring you all of the election results from Super Duper Tuesday, so you won't want to miss that. Thank you for joining us. Remember, tomorrow morning, click on over to theadvertiser.com, then click on Opinions and click on my mugshot. There you'll be able to read my weekly column where we talk about the results that happened down in Florida and what, if anything, that means to us here in Louisiana. Also, I want to remind you, wake up in the morning with KVOL 1330 AM, especially on Thursdays, where I join the cast of characters on there. I join Portia Evans on the left, and we fight for the working men and women of this district. We hope that you will enjoy that. Thanks for watching. Good night, and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.